Well, I want to talk about longevity as a sort of measurement of a success of a culture's habits. Okay? Right now, we know that America, United States of America, is not in the top 20 longevity cultures according to the National Geographic. In fact, our experts here in medicine and health, the government, tell us that our children will be the first generation of Americans that do not live as long as their parents. This is despite spending more money for health care every year than all the other 204 nations registered in the United Nations in the world, right? Also, our kids, when it comes to being born and live a long time, we rank 41st in the world when it comes to live births and first-month survivability of our babies. So I want you to contact your longevity associate and ask for the books Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, the book Immortality, and the book Rare Earths Been Cures. Now, what we're looking at here is a basic thread of things that are going to add 25 to 50 healthful years to our life. Number one, you got to get rid of the bad stuff. There is no supplement programs that will actually cancel out all the bad activities. Okay, so you do have to cancel out the bad activities. No fried foods. You got to get rid of the free radicals, trans fats, heterocyclamines, acrylamides, things that do cause inflammation, which result in cardiovascular disease, increased risk of cancer. No processed meats with nitrates or nitrites. We're talking about deli slices, sandwich meat, sausage, ham, bacon, bologna, salami, pastrami, pepperoni, jerky, corned beef, spam. And again, they contribute to inflammation, trans fats, heterocyclamines, and acrylamides. Again, contribute to cardiovascular disease. We're talking about coronary artery disease. We're talking about, and people forget, it's not just coronary arteries that get blocked when you eat inflammatory foods. It's every artery in your body, including your brain. What about vascular dementia? What about your eyes? Things like glaucoma, where the pressure in the eyes goes up because of the blood vessels in the eyes are plugged, okay? And then, of course, we have oils in our diets. We're talking about microwave popcorn. We're talking about theater popcorn. We're talking about olive oil, coconut oil, margarines, mayonnaise, sulfurs, and cooking oils. And here's where we've been driven with misinformation by the medical profession and the government with the Mediterranean diet, things like microwave popcorn for kids. Okay? You're talking about 50,000 deaths every year from cardiovascular disease, from obstructive artery disease, just from microwave popcorn. Of those 50,000 heart attacks, 20,000 die. Okay? Then, of course, gluten, wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Not only do they cause inflammation, but they do cause contact enteritis, which is a problem with the lining of the small intestines, so you lose efficiency of absorption, which will result in as many as 900 different nutritional deficiency diseases, many of which are certainly disabling, and many more of which are fatal. Okay? And so we're looking at everything from birth defects to type 2 diabetes. We're looking at arthritis. We're looking at Alzheimer's disease. We're looking at kidney failure. And we're looking at lupus. Okay? Congestive heart failure is a deficiency of a single vitamin. All right? We've known that for 300 years. Coronary artery disease is caused by inflammation, not cholesterol and saturated fat. And then you get sudden heart death, cardiomyopathy heart disease, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart disease. Our athletes die of that suddenly. This is caused by deficiency of a single mineral. Okay, I've personally done 1,700 autopsies on kids under the age of 10 that have died of that one. Okay? And then, of course, you get coronary thrombosis, a deficiency of omega-3s, or a ratio problem between omega-3s, 6s, and 9s, one of my 9 lawsuits against the FDA, in which I prevailed in all 9, okay, in federal courts. Let me tell you, we're looking at a huge problem here. And so, I want you to contact your longevity associate, get the books Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, the book Immortality, the book Rare Earths Been Cures, and learn how to add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life, even equally or maybe more important, add 25 to 50 healthy years to your kids' and grandkids' lives. And you're going to learn about the 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids. You cannot do well, you cannot meet your genetic potential for health and longevity and production and effectiveness and strength and speed and intelligence without these 90 essential nutrients. Your genes are not autonomous. Your medical doctor wants you to believe your genes are autonomous. And you get good genes, they're going to do what they're going to do. You have bad genes, they're going to do what they're going to do. That's all nonsense. Okay, genes will determine your eye color, your skin color, your hair color. It'll determine if you're an XX female or an XY male, and that's it. There's no birth defects that are caused by bad genes. There's no diseases that are caused by bad genes. It was all misinformation, misinterpretation of a good science. I mean, genetics is there, but it has its limits. Okay, genetics do not determine everything. Genetics determine, again, whether you're going to be an XX female, XY male. Going to determine eye color, hair color, skin color, and that's it. They are involved in maintenance repair of tissues, whether it's your skin, your eyes, your brain, your heart, your liver, your kidneys, your muscles, your bones, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between the vertebrae, digestive system. But they need the raw materials, the 90 essential nutrients, to accomplish their task. So contact your Youngevity associate, get epigenetics, get immortality, get rare fermented cures, and add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. Well, stick with us. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us today?
Well, this one actually vindicates you. As this is something I've heard you talk about for a number of years. This is a CNN story headline, Mother's Nutrition Pivotal for Healthy Child Growth. They say improving mother's nutrition before and during pregnancy is pivotal to reducing child stunting in developing countries, according to researchers in a new study from Harvard. They say stunting affects 1 in 3 children in the developing world and carries severe, irreversible consequences for both physical health and cognitive function. Analysis of data from 137 developing nations by a team from Harvard found that the leading cause of stunting is fetal growth restriction. They say poor fetal growth in the womb, resulting in a baby being abnormally small at birth. See, almost a fourth of the total of 44.1 million estimated cases among 2-year-olds in 2010 were attributed to FGR, and this was all published, and the researchers said the findings called to a shift in the paradigm for interventions focused solely on children to those also targeting mothers and mothers-to-be. Here was the real kicker here was they say a greater emphasis should be placed on ensuring that mothers have enough to eat and improving their diet with nutrient supplements.
There you go.
Yeah, so there you go, Doc. Something you've been talking about for about as long as I've known you. I mean, it makes perfect sense. I mean, if the mother doesn't have all the nutrients needed to make a healthy child, you're going to end up with a lot of these birth defects when the kid comes along.
Oh, absolutely. Of course, this was the finding of the 20,000 autopsies I did in the National Institutes of Health study that I did in the 60s and early 70s. 20,000 autopsies, 10 million chemistries, 10 million of the slides of special stains. And it all came, we were looking for pollution as the cause of these things. It was actually just nutritional deficiencies, whether it was preconception, during pregnancy, postnatal, later on in life. Nutritional deficiencies are the causes of most diseases, okay, other than infectious disease, of course. And because it was such a dramatic finding, that book, 1,200 pages, is in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. And most medical libraries will require you to leave an $18,000 deposit if you check that book out. And you can go on eBay or Amazon and look them up, and they're selling for $19,000 to $25,000 when they're in perfect condition. If they're all beat up, dog-eared, and underlined and highlighted, notes in the margins, you're talking $9,000, $7,000. And some, I mean, there's barely the bindings holding it together. You can get, they'll sell them for $700, $900. And so this information was dramatic. It was just a revolution, and that's why it's considered a national treasure in the Smithsonian Institute. I'm very, very proud about that work. And the study was actually, the grant was gotten by Marlon Perkins from the old Mutual Omaha Wild Kingdom show. And he asked me to be the pathologist on the project because as a graduate student at the University of Missouri, I had my agricultural degree. I was halfway through my veterinary degree, and I was also doing my pathology graduate work at the same time. Ran into the first mass die-off in America from pollution, in which I could prove that it was caused by pollution. Did all the detective work, did all the chemistries, got it published in peer-reviewed journals. It went around the world, I don't know how many times, thousands of phone calls. It was just really quite the thing, and that's why he chose me. That's why Marlon Perkins chose me to pull me out of Africa on the White Rhino Conservation Project to come back and be the pathologist on this study, in which embraced all the zoos in the big cities in North America, and it was quite the thing. They were expecting pollution to be the end of the world in a week at that time, and it turned out to be nutritional deficiencies, and we could eliminate every birth defect you can name in 454 species just simply by prenatal supplementation. Thank you so much for showing us that article, Doug. Super job. And we'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to Washington State. And Sharon, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Sharon, you're on the air.
Oh, thank you. What an honor and privilege to talk to you, Dr.
Well, you're very kind. How can I help you?
Thank you for taking my call. Okay, yes, I started seeing these spots on my hands and quite a while back, really, but I just put a little cream over it. I thought no big deal. But then I had your book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. So I looked it up in there, and I'm, this is, serious. So, but anyway, for the last couple of years, I've been taking your anti-aging healthy body pack. And so about 4 months ago, then I ordered the selenium because I noticed, I saw in that article it said selenium. But I had already, been taking it for about 4 months, the selenium. And the bottle, it says 1 capsule every 3 times a day. So that says 500, is it milligram, microgram?
Yeah, that's per 100 pounds, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I started adding a little bit more since it said 500. I took the 3, and then I'd wait another 4 hours, and I'd take 1 more. And then I realized in my tangerine, there's 100 milligram of the selenium in that. I'm just trying to get to like you had said in here, the 500. What do I do?
Okay, we're talking about micrograms. We're not talking about milligrams, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, micrograms.
Okay.
And there's 1,000 micrograms per milligram, so we're talking actually relatively small amounts. That's what it's called, trace minerals. And so, first of all, Sharon, how much do you weigh?
About 110 pounds.
Okay, now, Charmaine, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, how much do you weigh, kiddo?
The last time I got weighed 112.
112, so about the same as Sharon. How many selenium do you take a day?
I take 4.
Take 4. You take 2 at breakfast, 2 at dinner time?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, you're getting some selenium in the...
in the
tangerine and the immortalium and the Xerafem and all that kind of stuff. So you're getting pretty close to a milligram. You're getting pretty close to 1,000 micrograms a day. And how old are you?
73.
73. Do you have any age spots on your hands?
I think I got 1.
Okay, so one age spot, a 73-year-old woman.
Maybe 2.
Yeah. And so let's say you have 10 age spots in the back of your hands. That means you have millions of them in your bone marrow, in your brains, and your liver, and your lungs, and so forth. They indicate trans fats have been causing oxidative damage in the fats in your tissues, okay, including the skin in this case. So what you want to do at 110 pounds here, Sharon, is kind of do like Shar. I'd go ahead and take 2 or 3 twice a day. Depends on how many of those spots you have. But you do have to change your diet. Remember, supplements cannot outdo a bad diet. So you got to get rid of all the free radicals, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens. And those age spots will go away. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages.
Let's head to Arizona, and Jill Ann, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Jill Ann.
Oh, hi. Thank you, doctor. I was on yesterday. I have wet macular. I've been on 2 of the eye products, the Ocutive, and 2 bottles. a month and 2 bottles of the selenium per month. And you recommended I add the immortality. Now,
yeah,
I wondered how
Immortalium.
Immortalium. Okay.
Yeah, Immortalium. Yeah, IUM on the end. Immortality is a book. Immortalium is a product.
Okay.
And the idea here, Joanne, is that Immortalium is designed to stimulate activity of existing stem cells and to talk to your tissues and suggest to them that they make more stem cells. And stem cells, their job is to repair and maintain the status of tissue. Every tissue in the body, no matter what organ it is, every tissue has stem cells which are there to support maintenance repair. But they do require raw material. So this is what the 90 essential nutrients are for. But we've come up with a product called Immortalium, which if there's any stem cell activity going on there, this is going to help those cells magnify their activity. If there's not enough stem cells, this will tell your tissues in that injured or damaged or degenerating tissue that to make some more stem cells. That's the job of this product called Immortalium.
Oh, wonderful. And how many bottles per month?
Okay, what do you weigh?
120.
120. Okay, you're in that little woman status again, Charmaine?
Yes?
Yeah, you take Immortalium, correct?
Yes, I do.
And how many do you take a day?
2 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon.
Does that require 1 bottle a month?
Or
2 bottles?
I think it's a little more than 1 bottle. No, maybe not. I don't know. I'd have to check how many.
Yeah. Okay, so it'll be at least 1 bottle, but maybe 2 bottles. So, but at any rate, you want to take your body weight. You want to take 2 of those Immortalium tablets at breakfast and 2 at dinner time. They're a time-release thing. And we get so many people. I think the biggest thing that women talk about, what do women report to you? What does it do for their turkey neck, Char?
Well, everybody said it helps their skin and everything.
Yeah, it tends to tone up the skin. See, the skin has stem cells in it. In fact, in 1958, when I started studying stem cells, in 1958, as a student in agriculture, and one of my elective studies was stem cells. And you can take what's called a sort of a fibrous stem cell that comes from the skin or a tendon, and you can take the juice from any tissue and put on that stem cell, and it will become a cell of that tissue that the juice is coming from, even though it originated from sort of a nondescript stem cell from the skin, dermis, or maybe a tendon. And so this is the beauty of Immortalium. And again, by your body weight, take 2 twice a day, add that to your program, not a replacement for anything, but an add to, because it has a very specific function to support the maintenance repair that's dealt with stem cells. Good question, Joanne. Okay, we'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages.
Let's head to Massachusetts, and Philomena, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Okay, Philomena, you're on the air.
Hi, my friend. I have been calling you a few times, and also Charles. You are angels here to protect us.
You're very gracious. Thank you.
You are. I'm much better. You give my life back. My blood pressure is wonderful. I don't have the vertigo anymore.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your testimony. So you're off of medication?
I don't have the business. Some 50 doctors, and nobody could help me. And I don't have the business. What I do...
So wait a minute. You saw 15 or 50?
15.
Yeah, 15 doctors, and they couldn't help you. Yeah.
I was crazy because I didn't want to be like this. I was in bed for 3 years without moving, like in a sailboat. And they told me it was my head.
How old are you, Philomena?
I'm 65 now. 3 years in bed like a baby.
Yeah. And what was their diagnosis? What did they tell you had?
Nothing. Inflammation on the occipital nerve. And nothing else. They say, one say fibromyalgia, other one say neurology, and the other one say in your head. The last one, I never saw him anymore. I say, goodbye, I don't want to see you anymore.
Well, I really appreciate your testimony. Are you still taking the 90 essential nutrients?
Yes, I take a lot. I want to ask you one question.
Yes, ma'am.
They told me to go to the eye doctor because the left side I was not seeing very well, and I didn't know why. That's after after being sick.
Mm-hmm.
And they say I have a cataract, but I have pressure, and sometimes so light, it's so bright, and I don't know. I'm taking Alcotif for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's something to do with the cataract, because the doctor is afraid to do the operation if I'm going to have the inflammation back.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't understand
Sure.
why I'm taking.
Okay. And so what do you weigh, Philomena?
To do
How much do you weigh?
150 pounds.
Okay. Now, cataracts are caused by free radical damage to the proteins in the lens of the eye. And you have to do two things. Number one, you have to work on your diet, because the free radicals, the trans fats, heterocyclamines, acrylamides from oils, cooking oils, mayonnaise, margarine, salad dressings, these sorts of things, microwave popcorn, even in processed meats, fried foods, all that stuff's got to go out of your diet. And then in the early stages of the cataracts, they are repairable. Your genes in your eye can do that with supplementation and getting rid of the bad stuff. There is a point at which the cataract, you can stop it from progressing, but you can't reverse it. And there is a point at which you're going to need surgery. Okay? And so the fact that you've gotten on it quickly, that's a good thing. And so you just want to go back and check your diet and make sure your diet is completely free of all the bad stuff, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens. And then at 150 pounds, I would go ahead and make sure you're taking 9 selenium a day. 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner in your total supplement program, okay? And then with all of these selenium that's in your other stuff, that'll get you up to 1 milligram a day. That'll be 1,000 micrograms a day of selenium. And then, Char, what would you do for another source of antioxidants to get Philomena's ORAC points, an acronym for oxygen radical absorption capacity, over 300,000 per day? What would you give her?
The BTT 2.0 tablets.
Okay, very good. A plus, BTT 2.0 tablets. And if you take 4 twice a day, because we're going to hit this hard, because we want to see if we can reverse that cataract or at least stop it from progressing, you need 2 bottles a month of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 tablets. And it's different than the crystals. I don't know why we called it the same name as the crystals, but the crystals are a total supplement. They only have 8,000 ORAC points per serving. So if you take 2 servings, you get 16,000. Well, 1 serving of the BTT 2.0 tablets is 4 a day. Okay, 1 serving. That'll give you 160,000 ORAC points. So if you take 4 twice a day, that will, or spread them out during the day, so you get 2, 2, and 4 in the evening, maybe 2 at breakfast, 2 at lunch, 2 in the evening, or 4 in the evening. That'll get you up over 320,000 ORAC points a day. That's where you need to be. Okay, so you get those 2 bottles a month, and go ahead and take it. And guess what? The BTT 2.0 tablets is your best bet to get those ORAC points up there, so you can squash the free radicals, but you still have to avoid the bad stuff. Give us a call. Thank you so much. You're a darling. You're an angel for sharing your testimony with so many people. Okay, Doug, let's take another caller.
All right, let's head to Chicago, Illinois. And Tom, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Tom, you're on the air.
Yes, hi, Dr. Wallach. How are you?
Okay, sir. How can we help you?
I'm good, Dr. Wallach. Thanks to you. I got almost every product you have, and you helped me tremendously with the high blood pressure and the tachycardia. But
Super.
And I ordered last week for the CM cream because some kind of way I was listening to your program or something, and it mentioned that that's good for vertigo. That's what my call is for today.
Mm-hmm.
The blood pressure is perfect. The tachycardia almost faded away. I went to Northwestern Hospital here in Chicago, and they say, you almost don't need no blood pressure medicine. What have you been doing? So I didn't go into it because I don't want to get into an argument with them. But what I got, I've had it. What do I do with, I got a touch of vertigo. Sometimes I go to move, and because I don't know how to use it.
How much you weigh, sir? How much you weigh, Tom?
190, 5'9".
Okay. Now, Charmaine.
Yes?
Okay, what causes vertigo in most cases? I mean, there's many causes, but for the most case, the average person, and somebody who's had high blood pressure and tachycardia, it could have been called atrial fibrillation. So what would you think would be a primary cause of this imbalance, where he's getting dizzy and maybe even some nausea? What would you say is causing that?
Osteoporosis of the skull.
Exactly. You get an A+, osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the vestibular branch of the eighth cranial nerve, which results in this this sort of imbalance thing, right? And so you feel almost like it's a motion sickness. And so what would you do with the CM cream, Shar?
I would put it in his ear very carefully in each ear, and that should get rid of it temporarily until the other products get rid of it permanently.
Yeah, and of course, as Shar says, Tom, this is caused by osteoporosis of the skull, and the tunnels that the vestibular branch of the eighth cranial nerve are coming through in the skull are filling up with bone matrix because of the osteoporosis of the skull. And so the idea of the CM cream down in the ear, about a quarter of a teaspoon when you wake up, again at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, again before bedtime, that can actually relieve the symptoms. And after a couple of months on the program, as Shar says, it's possible to result in your osteoporosis of your skull going away and symptoms go away permanently. We'll be back after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Youngevity, 94 Life Crusade. We do have lines open. And, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Kentucky. And Kathy, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Kathy. You're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Hi.
I called you last Friday, as a matter of fact. It was about my mother. She had the ear cancer with the squamous cell, and she's a diabetic, and high blood pressure, high cholesterol, depression. She does have arthritis, and they're wanting her to take radiation. And I talked to the doctor yesterday. They told me that they probably gave her 2 to 5 years, and that this thing will show its ugly head again. I got, like, some of the stuff you said, but I wasn't able to write as fast.
And what is your mom's weigh?
She weighed 192, and she's 4'11".
Oh, yeah, I remember now. Yeah, she's got to lose 92 pounds. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so she's got to get rid of all the bad foods. Shar, what would be the bad foods Kathy's mother's got to get rid of?
No fried foods, no meat with nitrates or nitrites because they do cause cancer, and no oils of any kind, no burnt animal fat, no margarine, and again, no oils.
Okay, what about increasing absorption?
She needs to get on a gluten-free diet so she can absorb.
That's right. No wheat, barley, rye, and oats, no gluten.
Right.
Okay, all that. And then since your mom weighs 192 at this point, and again, she needs to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Okay, that's going to support healthy blood pressure. That's going to support brain function. That's going to support a lot of things. So 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. What would you give her mom to support healthy blood sugar and sugar metabolism, Shar?
I give her the sweeties.
Okay, very good. Yeah, she should take 3 sweeties twice a day. It'll be 2 bottles a month. And what about to enhance the blood pressure part?
She needs to take the calcium, extra calcium.
Okay. I would also throw in the Ultimate Daily Classic. I'd throw those in there.
And the niacin plus.
Yeah, exactly. The Ultimate Daily Classic, I'd have her take 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month. As Shar said, the Ultimate Niacin Plus, I would have her take 2 twice a day. That'll be 2 bottles a month. That's to support healthy blood pressure, dilate arteries, get blood flowing. Okay. And what would you do again for ORAC points to help her immune system to help fend off that cancer?
I would give her the BTT 2.0 tablets.
Very good. You get an A+. That's BTT. That's Beyond Tangerine 2.0 tablets. I'd have her take 2 bottles a month. And with 2 bottles a month, she'll be able to take 8 a day. That'll be, say, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, and 2 at dinner time, or 3 at breakfast, 2 at dinner, 2 at lunch, and 3 at dinner time, whatever it is. Split it up during the day. And that'll give her 320,000 ORIC points per day. That's going to do super support for the immune system, which is her best friend when you have any cancer. And again, stay away from the bad foods, and let's see if we can't beat that 4 to 5 year prediction on their part. And keep us informed as you go along here. But whether or not she gets the radiation and chemotherapy, that's kind of yours and her decision. We can't get into that decision making. That's yours. I'd certainly get 2 or 3 other opinions before you do that. And with those treatments, you should ask them, how long do you think she would last without the treatment? They're saying she'll last 5 years with the treatment. How long would she last without the treatment? That's a good question. And I would certainly ask 2 or 3 other doctors before you venture into any kind of serious intervention. Okay, and then give us a call. Tell us what your decision is. Tell us what some of the other opinions are. Okay, how much time we have here, Doug? Well, that answers that question. So, perfect timing. Well, I want to thank everybody. Really, really great testimony today. Great questions. Thank you so much to our super job as usual. Thank you so much, Doug and Richard. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.